while, let's turn our attention to your personal finances. Dr. Roger Gievold, CEO of Fair Money, personal finance and credit expert, joins me now. Well, Roger, very good morning to you.
Good morning, James.
I love how you get so exercised that you become almost infuriated by whatever's going on. I can only imagine that your blood is boiling beyond as the Russian crisis hits home. Let's start that, the horror stories that come out of Ukraine. But many of us might be interested to know perhaps what impact the crisis is going to have, not only there, but also here.
Well, as Richard Hunter has just said, oil prices have risen more than 50% this year. I was going to say they're over $100 a barrel, but they're now about $117 a barrel. Imports from Russia have all dried up. Most notably, this is going to impact on our home and business energy costs and price escalations even further than before Putin went Tonto. This comes as we've all been hit by inflationary price rises, energy price caps being lifted, wages not keeping up with the cost of living and all the rest. So I'm trying to think happy thoughts, James. Not necessarily my nature, but it's very difficult here with everything going on.
This is very true. Now, let's talk about saving the planet. But apparently, you want to sack some people. I love firing people. If people are incompetent, get rid. The thing is that we're too slow in this country. If somebody's incompetent, why do we keep them in post?
Well, it's incredible. The Government Environment Agency had one of its confidential reports leaked yesterday, which said that 93. This is while, James, while we're all spending extra money to buy vegan food and green fuel and everything else to save.
No, we're not. We don't care. I mean, sorry, a lot of that stuff, it's just green. Oh, here's my thing. If something makes a genuine difference to our lives, to the planet, to whatever, then you know what? I'm all up for it. But if people say, you must do this, you must buy that, you must do the other, it's going to save the planet, save the world, a lot of it is utter bunkum.
Well, we've got a huge percentage of the population, of course, that you might call woke, whatever, that does believe, starting with David Attenborough, does believe that we're going to save the Prince Charles, save the planet, or we're all going to be dead in 10 years, and buy all this stuff and take all these measures and do all these things. You've got other people, a much smaller minority, who say, well, wait a minute, hey, this is all cyclical. Every so many hundred years, this thing happens all by itself. England used to be a tropical country in any event.
Can I just ask, I mean, as an aside, how much environmental damage is being done by the war in Ukraine? I mean, I dread to think the amount of explosions and munitions and oil fields being blown up and goodness only knows what. If anybody thinks that, switching off a light here or there is going to save the planet, or, let's make ourselves a little bit more conscious by having a little bit more green energy and ruining our environment by sticking up another blooming wind farm, it's like you might as well just whistle in the wind. It's completely pointless.
Congratulations. You are the first person I've heard to make that point about this conflict. And how many times did you hear that said during Syria and everything blown up there? It's incredible. So, yes, people are throwing their energies into this stuff. And here, to come back to the main point, we've got
I put you off track. We haven't even got to the Environment Agency. What have they done wrong?
I love it. You haven't put me off track. I mean, this is the irony of it. This is like these climate conferences where the heads of mega digital companies, 130 of them, come in on their private jets.
I know, it's just like, why? It's do as we say, not do as we do. I mean, the whole thing, it's just awful.
But the prize goes to the Environment Agency.
Yes.
Whose leaked report says that 93% of the serious violations in the 4 years to 2020, including massive river pollution, waste crimes, and all kinds of other things, have not been prosecuted, even though they were set up, scheduled for prosecution by senior staff. At most, people in 93% of these cases, James, received a warning letter, and in many, nothing was done at all. They never heard a thing.
Why?
The Environment Agency was apparently asked to respond, and they said...
The thing is, we pay for these utter fools to be in charge of us. We pay for these quangos. I remember one popular thing that David Cameron said but sadly didn't do was he said there was going to be a bonfire of quangos. Where was that bonfire? Oh.
Absolutely.
I maintain we are governed by cretins. Roger, just one quick word, please, because we're almost out of time. Ukraine and Bitcoin, what's happened there?
Well, this is something not to be very grumpy about. There's an awful lot of money in the hands of individuals, family offices, trusts, institutions connected with Russia that now, of course, has all avenues to the financial markets denied. Some pundits are starting to wonder whether this money isn't making its way into the cryptocurrency markets. Now, the blockchain distributed ledger technology on which most cryptocurrencies rest cannot be easily tampered with. And yet, at the same time, anonymity is a much more high, far higher than in a normal bank account. So I'm wondering if the price of cryptocurrencies is not going to rise and rise and rise, and I'm not giving any tips here, but because this huge number of institutions and people who are banned from dealing with the market.
So you're basically going to say they're going to funnel all their dirty cash into cryptocurrency, so therefore it becomes a moral dilemma. Oh, my God. You've made it worse, Roger. There we go. We're out of time, but it's always good to chat. That's Dr. Roger Guilbault, CEO of Fair Money, personal finance and credit expert. He will be very excited to hear, as I hope you will be as well, because we've been discussing fuel